And welcome, folks. Today's episode, just going to do a quick touch base on the state of the real estate market. Lots going on, things fluctuating. Do we think it's a buyer's market yet? Stay tuned. Let's take a look at some of the stats that have been put out recently. Now, if we compare here March 2022 to April, just last month, we can see in certain parts of Ontario, in fact, actually in all parts, we look at Central has gone from a little over 1.3 million average to 1.266. Eastern has had a drop, Northeastern, Northern, Southern, which is essentially the area that is the GTA, has gone from 980 to 936. So inflation is still at 30 plus year highs. So the government is going to keep on raising rates to fight that inflation. The average home price in Ontario for April is $985,354. Now in March, that was $1,052,920. That's a 6.4% monthly decrease. So for Canada, that makes it 2 months in a row that average prices have fallen. This has not happened for a very long time, as the market has been on a tear for the past several years. Right now, it appears that suburban markets are taking the brunt of it. Just did a little bit of research on House Sigma, and I can see that especially some of the entry-level studio and one-bedroom condos are still getting what they're asking for or over. As we can see here, I did a cross-section of a few different condos in the Toronto area, and we can see that this one here, they listed it for $399. It went for $495. I mean, we're talking about a small studio condo in Toronto for almost $500,000. So again, that demand is still there and it's strong, especially for the entry-level market, since regular houses, towns, semis, detached are out of some people's grasp. And even if prices start pulling back a bit in the suburbs and for homes, with the higher mortgage rates, they end up having to qualify for a higher rate and have to have higher mortgage payments. So it seems like there's just no hope. We're in a bit of a pickle here. Looking here at a few different parts of Toronto, we've got $525,000 asking for a studio, once again, bachelor on the Esplanade, and it's went for only $6,000 below asking here at $519. Something else, again, in a central downtown location on Blue Jays Way for asking for $619. You know, little bit of a price break here at $600,000. But again, still very strong demand, and essentially sellers are getting what they want at this point in time for this market. The Bank of Canada has stated that they want to fight this inflation. They're raising rates to get inflation back in check, closer to their target rate. And it's very much anticipated that on June 1st, they're going to raise rates by 0.5%. Now, again, they might surprise us. Maybe they go 0.25, doubt it. Maybe they go 0.75, as was rumored a few weeks back. Might be too much, too fast. So the main consensus is 0.5% at this point. We'll see what happens on June 1st. That's only about 9 days away. What this is going to do, again, like last time when they put that rate hike into effect, the big banks follow suit. The variable rate goes up. So now we've been having a variable rate in around the 2.5% for some of the lending institutions out there. That's going to likely pop above 3%. And again, it's just going to be that much harder for people to qualify and to be able to afford the higher mortgage payments. So this is going to pour a bit of cold water on this hot market. For sellers, they may have to give in a little bit, especially, like I said, in the suburb markets where not as many offers are happening now. Houses are staying on the market a little bit longer, so they may have to pull back to reality a little bit, put the prices back down. I know there's even a neighbor not too far from me that had an open house this weekend. You know, I walked by a few times. Not as much traffic as we've seen just in the last, month or two ago, where there would be tons and tons of people going to see it. Not as many going by. Now, was it the best time to do it? The weather, especially with the big storm the other day, and it being a long weekend, maybe that contributed as well. Some home sellers are still in a little bit of denial, wanting to fetch what their neighbors and others have been getting just a few short months ago. But they do have to come to the realization, I think, that market has changed, especially in certain areas, and they have to get in tune with what's going on out there, especially considering that some people have bought their houses in the last couple of months, and now they have to sell their own house. The market in the suburbs, again, has been getting a little bit less hot, and they may have to actually take a bit of a haircut on what they were asking. This makes it a little bit tricky because with the bank appraisals now possibly coming in a little bit lower, they may not be able to borrow the amount that they had anticipated, and more money may have to come out of their own pocket. So here we see the forecast for what a couple of the banks think is going to happen with the house prices in Ontario in 2022. As you can see, compared to the price growth that had been forecasted for 2021, we're looking for, one of them actually thinks it's going to be negative growth, and the other one thinks that it's going to go up by just 3%. So what does this all mean? Again, depends on your time frame, depends on your objective. If you're looking at long-term capital appreciation, the best time to get into the market was yesterday. The second best time is now. If the numbers make sense, if you're in it for the long term, and you could weather the storm of any ups and downs, then in the long term, I still think real estate is a fantastic investment. And if you are a prospective buyer and prices do continue to go down, then maybe it's an opportunity to get something while it's on sale. Wishing you much health and prosperity. Bye for now.